What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we need to talk about XRP getting dangerously close to seeing the breakout that we have all been patiently waiting for, getting ready to trade, getting ready to copy trade, and it can even be shorting this for all we know here. As you guys know, since the beginning, we actually saw a major correction, a major fall back in April 12th to be exact here, correcting into April 13th. And since then, since April, it's now June, we've had this massive consolidative symmetrical triangle forming here in some sort of pennant flag. And slowly and surely, it is going to come to a decision, and that decision is going to either break us to the upside or the downside. Yes, either or is destined to happen here. The best part, though, is we have the ability to either short or long this and make a ton of money, knowing that the time is coming very soon. You can see slowly the big volume spikes that we've had have slowly come down and are starting to constrict. And when they constrict, they have to make a decision at some point because these lines do cross, and hopefully that decision benefits us because we'll know what time that idea and definitely when it will break out, we'll be able to capitalize off that run. But beyond XRP, that's a few days out. That's back in mid-June here. So we have about 10 days left before we get some sort of decision, which will happen soon. Within XRP, we'll also be looking at Solana. We've drawn and we've kind of found a top price ceiling. We might even be able to draw some sort of resistance here like that. So some sort of descending fractal is now forming on Solana, which is quite interesting here. We then have cryptos like Ethereum to look at, which is forming an enormous symmetrical triangle on the 4-hour charts here. And then Bitcoin as well, which is seeing major reversals and rejections from its price ceiling, which we spoke about in yesterday's episode as well. You can see here just the problem zone that we've had up top here in the past, just like, let me pull this back up here. Jumping to the 4-hour, you can see the problem zones that we've had in the past. Rejection right here in the previous times at 71.5, and then numerous rejections here. Typically, this ascending fractals break us down, and there's a chance that we could see that same thing happen. We'll wrap up today's video with the S&P, which is heading even higher up as usual. Absolutely nuts, these higher lows here. You can see on the S&P, each time we head up and we fall, it's higher than the last one. So we'll see if that pattern is going to continue on through. But before we do dive into today's video, though, you definitely make sure to check out FAIRDESK, though, because I will be posting a lot of my copy trades, or a lot of my trades on FAIRDESK now, open for all you guys to check out. I have for the time being paused on Patreon here because I think it's a conflict of interest. So we're just going to start with FAIRDESK and see how this pans out. So if you guys want to see transparent trades that are open and available to passively trade on here, it's completely free to sign up for FAIRDESK, and now you guys can actually view some of my trades. So make sure to head on over to FAIRDESK, link down in the description for you guys to check out. With that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's jump right into today's episode. Also, super quick before I forget, FAIRDESK is giving away free bonus money to those that decide to make a deposit. 100, 2K, 65, 100K. Pretty much the sky is the limit in regards to money that you're going to be able to make here, and they're giving even more incentives and bonuses for VIP traders, so on and so forth. So make sure to get your free cryptocurrency with that link down in the description below. Anywho, diving into today's video, starting off, I think I want to look at, it's definitely tough. I mean, Bitcoin, we've seen it in the past here. We already know what's kind of at stake here. We're trading sideways for quite some time. We had this beautiful symmetrical triangle, very similar to the ones that we've seen already here. This broke us bullish. You could see pretty awesome the amount of the size and the stature that this has had. And then we had a smaller kind of pennant flag here, which also broke us bullish. And since then, we've kind of been hitting this resistance. Part of me thinks correction is kind of necessary here as the markets are slowly trending away from its moving average here. I think at some point we need to come back down and retest the moving average. And if we get that option, we might be able to put in a short position to the downside on Bitcoin here. Although I do think at this time, Bitcoin needs to be put on the back burner because I just don't think it has enough clarity yet with its technical indicators to say, oh, okay, time to be buying in. Unless we check out like the daily. But even then, you can see it's having a tough time breaking through this top price ceiling here. So inevitably, I do think correction is going to happen because we've kind of scaled pretty far away from the top resistance or the top moving averages here. You can see just like that. So it's very possible we could come back down like this and retest the top of the moving average. Inevitably, though, we did break out of a beautiful bull flag formation here. We broke bullish right out of this, and this is starting our ascent to the upside here. And at some point, I do think we are going to pump up. It's very possible that this could continue because since then, we've been on a higher low track. So it's very possible that same thing could happen here. So really, I guess the sky's the limit and anything is possible for Bitcoin at the current moment here. But I do think we're at a resistance level at this current market right now. You can see we've had problems in the past here and here and here, and here we are doing the same thing. So obviously anything can happen. We can obviously break through that though, but I think we need to consolidate just a hair longer or more. Maybe if I extend this up and we use this as a support, I do think it's needed for us to come back down just a hair in order to head higher. But I mean, anything can happen at this point with Bitcoin, but checking out it on the 4 hour and the hourly just seem a bit too aggressive at this moment, a bit too up in the air. So I am going to take a step back from that. But looking at other major cryptos, my main focus really is on this XRP one. Now that we've had some successful trades on Bitcoin over the past couple of days here, XRP is going to be a huge winner here the second we get this confirmation, and I'm really worried that we're going to see some bull traps. If we break out early, it really could pull us back down into here, so you got to be patient with this here. We really do need to fill this in, but we're pretty successful with our resistances and supports here. At least the support top one can be tweaked. If there's a third one, it's definitely a possibility. But for the time being, we just have to, let this pan out just a hair longer before we get some sort of decision, and then we'll be able to take advantage of this. And I'm very excited to see what XRP has in store for us, because it's going to be much bigger, much faster, and much longer than some of you guys were expecting here. So I'm excited to see the results of that. As for Solana, quite interesting. We just had a major flare to the downside on the hourly charts here. That's what we're looking at here. These do break bullish though. I mean, that's the crazy thing. We have this beautiful now kind of descending fractal forming here. So yet again, if we can confirm closure above here, this might be another opportunity to long. Weird part is we have this resistance here in green. So things are going to get a bit sketchy. Like if we break through right here, we could get rejected off this, and that's sketchy to me. So I think, I don't know, it's definitely tough. We are holding on to this, which is definitely nice here, but I think maybe if we confirm closure above this on the hourly, that might be enough for us to buy in. Otherwise, we might just continue to scale lower here. But again, another bull flag, clear as day, major rally up, consolidation down. This typically, ends in a bullish run outside of it here. So Solana's definitely on my top radar here. I think this is going to end in some sort of bullish break sooner than later. So eyes are focused on Solana. That's definitely made it to the #1 spot in regards to focusing on, because this is a very easy and obvious technical indicator that we could take advantage of. And when it does, we'll get on it on FAIRDESK and make that trade very easily, very quickly here. So definitely stay tuned for that. But beyond Solana, Ethereum is also a very big one to check out here. Ethereum on its 4 hour has a massive bull flag. This typically, we're looking for a bullish breakout here, because we kind of stumbled into this here, and we should stumble out of it doing the same way we entered. It's a consolidative pattern. I keep forgetting the word here. I don't know, but it will most likely see a break to the upside here. We have definitely a solid support. And what I meant to say is a continuation. I keep getting it mixed up here. Continuation pattern. What I mean by that is it typically continues with how it formed here. So because we had a bullish break into this is a continuation. It's allowing us to slowly lower ourselves from what was literally 87 on the RSI. We're now at 50 or even lower, 47. So we should be able to break out of it at a much higher standpoint here. And that's truly what I'm waiting for here. Rock solid support. Resistance is a little bit weird, but 3 nonetheless. So once this fills in the gap, we should also be expecting a break. So Solana and Ethereum are now on my radar for seeing potential breaks in the very near future here. But I think that covered everything. Solana, bull flag. We have XRP symmetrical triangle, Ethereum symmetrical triangle on a 4 hour. Bitcoin is consolidating, very well could reject off of that. And then I guess lastly, the S&P 500, which is just doing whatever it wants at this point here. I mean, it's pumping higher. I want to jump to the weekly. Maybe we'll get a better understanding. I mean, it's crazy because of how overextended we are. But here's where kind of history repeats itself again. You can see this previous charting here that I did. And typically what happens after that is we break down. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are not paying attention to at this moment in time. We break down from these. We had this major rally up, and we come crashing down after. And I wouldn't be surprised if that same exact thing happens. I mean, check this out here. I mean, who knows how long it's going to take too. The previous rally that we had lasted a total of, let me just get the time right here, the date range. This took almost a little over a year. So 413 days. And then if we then scale to what we have now, maybe right here, I don't know where we want to start this. If we're at this point, then we've pretty much completed it. If we go from here, then we're about halfway through, which is nuts. But I think this is, I would include this whole thing here as one. I do. Or maybe not. Yeah, I do think so. I just think we're peaked. We maxed out on the top, and it's now time to start to head lower here. And typically after these major rallies, we start to condemn ourselves and correct lower. However, this is when they started raising interest rates. So I don't know what now would be the onslaught of a correction here, because we can't raise interest rates anymore. So why would we come down? That's the scary part. I mean, this was COVID. This was inflation. So what would cause the next one? I don't know, but everything points to it. And that's the scary part. How quickly we reversed means we should be correcting just as quickly as well. I'm not sure. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd really love to hear it down in the comments below. That being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.